Welcome to a journey of understanding, where we delve into the depths of Buddhism and its core teachings. Buddhism, a religion and philosophy that emerged over 2,500 years ago, has captivated millions with its profound insights into the human condition. Its teachings, rich in wisdom and compassion, offer a path to inner peace and enlightenment. At the heart of Buddhism lies the Four Noble Truths, a set of principles that serve as the foundation for understanding the Buddhist worldview. These truths address the reality of suffering, its origins, the possibility of its cessation, and the path leading to its end. They serve as guideposts, illuminating the way towards a life of greater wisdom and compassion. Today, we set the stage to explore these truths, beginning with the first noble truth. This truth, often translated as suffering, goes far beyond the conventional understanding of the term. It is known in Pali, an ancient language of the Buddhist scriptures, as dukkha. Dukkha, a concept that captures the full spectrum of human experience, is not just about overt pain or distress. It embodies the inherent unsatisfactoriness of life, the subtle disconnect between our desires and reality. It's about the fleeting nature of happiness, the inevitability of change, and the deep-seated feelings of discontent that often lie beneath the surface of our lives. Understanding dukkha is essential to grasping the essence of Buddhist teachings. It serves as the entry point into a transformative journey that aims to address the root causes of suffering and paves the way towards a deeper, lasting peace. So, as we delve deeper into the teachings of Buddhism, let's keep an open mind. Let's be willing to confront the realities of life, even if they are uncomfortable. For it is only through acknowledging the full spectrum of our experiences that we can begin to transform them. Buckle up as we dive into the first noble truth, the reality of dukkha. Dukkha, often translated as suffering, is a multifaceted concept in Buddhism. Let's delve into the rich tapestry of dukkha, moving beyond the simplistic notion of suffering. This Pali term, dukkha, is akin to an umbrella, sheltering a broad spectrum of experiences underneath. It is not confined to the realms of pain or distress, nor is it a mere reflection of sorrow or hardship. Dukkha, in its essence, speaks to the inherent unsatisfactoriness of life. To grasp the nuances of dukkha, picture life as a vast, ever-changing landscape. The peaks represent moments of joy, the valleys symbolize periods of sorrow, and the flat terrains embody the mundane routine. But here's the catch. None of these are permanent. The landscape is in constant flux, and this change, this impermanence, is a key element of dukkha. The joy of scaling a peak is fleeting, the sorrow of a valley is transient, and even the flat terrains are not as uneventful as they seem. This is because dukkha also encapsulates the dissatisfaction we sometimes feel in our everyday lives, those moments when we yearn for something more, something different. It is the itch we can't quite scratch, the thirst we can't fully quench. Even in times of relative peace and contentment, dukkha manifests as a subtle undercurrent of unease, a vague sense of discontent. It's the nagging feeling that something is not quite right. The nagging feeling that despite having everything, something is missing. But dukkha is not just about the negative aspects of life. It also embraces the paradox of happiness, the inherent unsatisfactoriness of what we often perceive as positive experiences. The thrill of a new purchase fades, the joy of achievement dwindles, the excitement of a new relationship dulls, and in their wake, they leave a sense of longing, a desire for more. So, dukkha is not just about suffering, it's about the unsatisfactoriness of life, the discontent, the longing, the impermanence. It's about the myriad ways life can be out of sync with our desires. It's about the reality of existence, unfiltered and unadorned. Dukkha, thus, is a symbol of the myriad ways life can be out of sync with our desires. Dukkha manifests itself in various dimensions, each with its unique characteristics. This multifaceted nature of dukkha allows us to examine the different ways it permeates our lives. Let's start with the first dimension, physical and mental distress. This is perhaps the most conspicuous form of dukkha, the one we're all too familiar with. It's the sting of a scraped knee, the ache of a broken heart, the gnawing anxiety about an uncertain future. It's the grief we feel when we lose a loved one, the despair that envelops us in times of hardship. This dimension of dukkha reminds us that life, in all its beauty and complexity, is also punctuated by moments of pain and sorrow. Next, we have the dukkha of change. This form of dukkha may not be as immediately apparent as physical or mental distress, but it's just as pervasive. It's the realization that nothing is permanent, that all things, good or bad, come to an end. It's the fleeting nature of happiness, the impermanence of our joys and triumphs. It's the longing we feel when the thrill of a new relationship fades, or the emptiness that comes when we finally achieve a long-sought goal, only to find it less fulfilling than we'd imagined. This dimension of dukkha underscores the transient nature of our experiences and the inherent instability of our worldly attachments. The final dimension is pervasive dukkha, a subtle form of dissatisfaction that underlies our existence. It's a sense of unease that's hard to pinpoint, a feeling that something's not quite right, even when there's no overt suffering. It's the nagging thought that there must be more to life than this, the yearning for a deeper, more lasting sense of fulfillment. This dimension of dukkha reflects our existential discontent, the dissonance between the way things are and the way we'd like them to be. These dimensions of dukkha are not meant to paint a bleak picture of life. Rather, they provide a realistic portrayal of our human experience, highlighting the ways in which we encounter dissatisfaction. They prompt us to question our assumptions about happiness and fulfillment, to delve deeper into our understanding of suffering and its causes. And most importantly, they lay the groundwork for the teachings that follow in the Four Noble Truths. For it's only by recognizing and understanding dukkha in its various forms that we can begin to address its root causes and work towards its cessation. These dimensions of dukkha underscore the inherent unsatisfactoriness present in different aspects of human life. Recognizing dukkha is not about fostering negativity, but about awakening to reality. Let's delve deeper into this concept. Acknowledging dukkha, contrary to what one might think, doesn't mean wallowing in despair or fostering a pessimistic outlook. It's about understanding the natural order of life. It's about seeing things as they truly are, not as we would like them to be. Imagine you're in a dark room, stumbling over obstacles, unable to find your way out. Turning on the light doesn't eliminate the obstacles, but it shows you where they are. Recognizing dukkha is like turning on that light. It doesn't immediately remove the suffering, but it illuminates the challenges, the pitfalls, the areas of life that are out of sync with our desires. This illumination is a call to awareness, a wake-up call if you will. It's a call to confront reality without the distortion of rose-tinted glasses. To see the world, not in a dim, pessimistic light, but in a realistic one. It's a call to acknowledge the transient nature of happiness, the inevitability of change, and the pervasive undercurrent of dissatisfaction that runs through our existence. But why is this acknowledgement so crucial? Because only by recognizing the presence of dukkha can we start to address its root causes. It's like diagnosing a disease. You can't begin treatment until you've identified the problem. The awareness of dukkha is the first step towards its alleviation. And here's the most beautiful part. This journey of recognition and understanding can lead to a profound transformation. By confronting and understanding dukkha, individuals can embark on a path that leads to a deeper, lasting peace. It's a path that moves beyond mere transient happiness to a state of enlightenment, a state of liberation from suffering. So, while the recognition of dukkha may seem daunting, it's an essential part of the journey. It's a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. To understand dukkha is to take the first step on the path to liberation. The First Noble Truth serves as a beacon, guiding us towards deeper insight and freedom. This statement paints a vivid picture of the role this truth plays in the Buddhist path. It's not just about acknowledging suffering or the unsatisfactoriness of life. It's about using that understanding as a starting point, a guiding light that illuminates the path to liberation. Imagine the First Noble Truth as a lighthouse, its light piercing through the fog of ignorance and delusion that often clouds our perspective. It reveals the rocky shores of dukkha, the unsatisfactory aspects of existence, allowing us to navigate life with greater awareness and wisdom. But how does this beacon guide us towards freedom and enlightenment? It starts by fostering a profound understanding of reality. This means recognizing the inherent challenges of life, acknowledging the fleeting nature of happiness, and understanding the deep-seated dissatisfaction that can permeate our existence. It's about seeing life as it truly is without any sugarcoating or denial. With this understanding, we can then begin to address the root causes of dukkha. We can cultivate mindfulness, develop compassion, and learn to let go of attachments. We can strive for a state of being where happiness is not dependent on external circumstances, but emerges from within. We can work towards liberation from the cycle of suffering, towards a state of peace and contentment that is unshakable and enduring. This is the transformative journey that the First Noble Truth invites us on. It's not an easy path, but it promises a reward far greater than any worldly achievement. It offers the possibility of true peace, of liberation from the shackles of suffering, of enlightenment. So let this truth be your beacon. Let it shine a light on the realities of life, guiding you towards a deeper understanding and ultimately towards freedom from suffering. Embrace the First Noble Truth, not as a pessimistic view of life, but as a catalyst for transformation and liberation. With the First Noble Truth, one begins the transformative journey towards true peace and liberation. The First Noble Truth, the reality of dukkha, is indeed a profound teaching. It's a cornerstone of Buddhism, a principle that offers a lens to view and understand life's varied experiences. In our journey today, we've delved into the depths of dukkha, peeling back the layers of this complex term, often oversimplified as suffering. We've seen how dukkha transcends mere physical or mental distress. It's not just about the tangible pains of life, such as illness, aging, or grief. It's also about the subtle, pervasive sense of discontent, the underlying unease that can surface even in the absence of overt suffering. It's about the transience of joy, the fleeting nature of happiness that leaves behind a sense of longing or loss. But remember, acknowledging dukkha's existence isn't meant to instill a sense of despair. Quite the contrary, it's a call to awareness, a push towards understanding and acceptance. Recognizing dukkha is about confronting life's realities head-on without any illusions. It's about seeing beyond the superficial and delving into the core of existence. The First Noble Truth doesn't just spotlight the challenges of life, it also illuminates the path to liberation. It's the starting point of a transformative journey, a voyage towards insight and enlightenment. By understanding dukkha, one can begin to address its root causes, ultimately finding a deeper, lasting peace. In essence, the First Noble Truth is a beacon, a guide that shows the way to a state of freedom from suffering. It's a powerful teaching that encourages us to embrace life's realities, to find beauty and wisdom amid adversity. So, as we conclude today's exploration, let's carry with us the understanding of dukkha. Let's remember that enlightenment begins with facing reality, with acknowledging the truths of our existence. Thank you for joining this journey of understanding. Remember, enlightenment begins with facing reality. See you in the next exploration.